What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole and I'm a recovering person. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I am here today to share with you guys some amazing recovery tips on how to stay sober one day at a time. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So if you guys don't mind, while I get all the sharing and all that stuff out of the way, please make yourself at home. I am going to share a link to my link tree where we have the link to the private Hangouts chat, the link to the Facebook community, the link, everything is on this link tree. So if you guys want to join any of our groups, click that link that I just listed in the comments and it'll take you to a list of all the socials that Real Talk Recovery has. Okay, all right, here we go. Hey, Sam. Hey, guys. Hey, Brad. Hey, Misty. Hey, CG. Thanks for being here, y'all. Appreciate you. I've been missing a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys have not been coming around. So I'm glad to see y'all here. Okay, let me go ahead and go over to Facebook. Oh, wow. Thank you guys for sharing the video, Kevin and Dawn. Shout out to Dawn and Kevin, my first shares over on Facebook, y'all. I appreciate you guys when y'all, that helps me out a lot, you guys. I know people don't understand, but when you share my videos, it really does help. So if you're in any recovery-related groups, or if you think my video might help somebody, if you could share it, that would be amazing. It helps the channel out so much. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this. Hey, Brandon, what's up, honey? I see you in here. So tonight, you guys, we're going to talk about the imaginary line. The imaginary line, okay? And we're going to talk about how each one of us crossed that imaginary line. And that's why we're here today. So we're going to talk about that as soon as we get everybody here. Hey, Dawn. Thanks for being here, girl. Y'all, Dawn started a YouTube channel. Hey, Dawn, is it the same? I saw your, there was 2 of them with your name on it, just so you know. And I'm sure this is this the 3rd one that you've made? Because I went on there and for some reason I couldn't sign on from your link tree. So I had to do it on my own. Oh, there's nothing on it yet. Okay, well, so that way we can get people to go over there. You know what I mean? Hey, Carrie, how you doing, girl? Glad to see you in here. I'm glad to see all you guys in here, for real. Anybody's welcome at our live streams. Anybody's welcome. Now, usually on Friday nights, what we do is we have kind of a MARA-focused meeting, which is Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous. So what I will do is I will read the MARA preamble, and I will read the MARA 12 steps, and then we're going to get into talking about the topic. So I'm just getting started. I've been working today, y'all. I've been having quite a bit of stuff I had to do. There we go. So I can read y'all's comments. Good, Brandon. That makes me happy to hear that, man. So you're doing good. And I can see y'all's comments over there on Facebook, so that's good. Gardening season. Carrie, I knew you were going to say something about gardening. I'm so glad you're still gardening. That's awesome. No, it took me to the page. It took me to the page. I just didn't see anything there. Hey, Shelly, how are you doing? Hey, everybody, come on in. Hey, Cindy. So I've been missing a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys haven't been coming around, and I've been concerned. So I went into our Hangouts chat, and I asked everybody, like, hey guys, um, like, is there anything that y'all want me to do differently? Because I noticed that a lot of people had stopped coming that were normally here every single time I went live. Which, listen, you guys, I understand. I don't expect you guys to make it to every single live, okay? I do not expect that. Hey, Jen, I just get concerned because a lot of you guys have been with me for over a year, and when I don't see you coming, I wonder if there's something going on, or if what we're doing here is boring. Let me know. I will change it. I can do something different. If you guys don't enjoy me coming up here and sharing about recovery, and you enjoy it when I have interviews more, let me know, and I will do more interviews. If you guys enjoy it when we do story times and things of that nature, let me know, okay? I can't improve if you don't let me know, and I'm never going to get upset with you if you're suggesting something that can help me improve, okay? All right, now that we got that out of the way, let me get the Mara preamble pulled up. Now, this is kind of like a different kind of Mara meeting because we're not on a Zoom where everybody can talk, but you can share in the comments. I would put the link out for y'all to come up here, but it makes it so glitchy. So until I get a better computer, we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing. But when I get a better computer in about 30 days, my dad just called me and told me that the money for my grandma's estate will be coming through soon. So that way, when that comes through, my dad's going to send me some money. That way I don't have to dip into my savings account, because I really want to get a good, high quality, crisp. I want you guys to be able to see the hairs on my chin. Okay? I want y'all to be able to see my pores. And so when I get this new computer, it's going to be like that. Okay? It's going to be so fast that when I touch the computer, it's going to go. Hey, Gold Dust Woman. Hey, Joe. Okay, so let's get started. Here we go, y'all. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Just so everybody knows, that's new. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do a patron-only Zoom meeting. If you're somebody who's interested in joining my Patreon, it's only $2 a month, and we started doing the Codependent No More book, which we just started it. So if you want to sign up and join Patreon, come on, sign up. It's only $2, and it supports me and my channel. And yeah, so okay, here we go. Mara, Medication-Assisted Recovery Anonymous. One size does not fit all. Do you use prescribed medication to treat various drug and alcohol use disorders? Many people who utilize evidence-based science to aid in their recovery sometimes feel uncomfortable in their day-to-day lives. Additionally, a multitude of people on this healing path have even felt unwelcome at traditional recovery meetings. We understand. At Medication-Assisted Recovery Anonymous, you are always welcome. Recovery is simply to recover from an unsafe lifestyle. Mara is a support group of people who believe in the value of medication as a means to recovery. We understand that our individual needs may not be the same, our backgrounds may not be the same, our futures may not be the same. However, our desire to live a safe lifestyle joins us together, and our code, non-judgment, is our code. Okay. So, back whenever I first started my YouTube channel, you guys, we used to work out of this book right here, which is the Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book. But we are waiting on the Mara book to get here, so that's what I've been waiting on to use. But when I used to work out of this book, there was something that they talked about in here about when every alcoholic or addict gets to the point where they cross over the imaginary line from them using drugs and alcohol as something that was just fun and games, like, to party on the weekends, just a little dab or two, like a little line or a little shot. but it wasn't anything that was like controlling your life. You know what I mean? Y'all remember that time? God, it's been so long ago, I can barely remember the time that I could use drugs and walk away from them. I remember when I first started getting high, I could get high and not have to get high the next day because I was just getting started. Drugs were still a luxury. They were still fun. You know, I could still get fucked up and like not feel bad the next day. In fact, when I was younger, I could get high and drunk and I could bounce back the next day, be at a party the next morning or be at school the next morning with not even a hangover. Well, honey, let me just tell you something. As your disease progresses, and if you're an addict, it will, okay? As the disease of addiction progresses, what happens is it totally takes over your life. And everything that you were once able to do without drugs and alcohol falls to the wayside because you have to do everything high or drunk. You know, I want to go to a basketball game to cheer, got to be high. I want to go on a date with my boyfriend, got to be high. Oh, I got to meet with some relatives I haven't seen in a long time, got to be high. Got to go to my mom and dad's Christmas dinner, got to be high. Everything was centered around drugs and alcohol. And that is that imaginary line that I am referring to when we cross over that and it becomes no longer becomes a luxury, it becomes a necessity to live our lives. That's why I wonder when I hear people say things like, you know, drug addiction is a choice. I really don't understand. And I think, well, then I guess I guess they've never really truly been addicted because when you're truly addicted, you totally lose all power of control, all power of choice, all control. And sorry, these are so foggy. It's just, it's beyond me. Sometimes when I hear people say things like that makes me realize, you know what, you're not an addict. You know, when you lose the power to make choices and you lose control of every part of your life, everything, I'm talking you can't go to the bathroom without drugs or alcohol, then you reach, it's like a secret society. We're part of a secret society. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like a club that until you've crossed over that line and you've lost control, you don't understand, you know? And I don't want you to have to understand. If you're somebody who can use drugs and alcohol without having repercussions and now without losing control and without ruining your life, my I look at you and say, well, that's amazing. But honey, that is just not how it is for me. Um, and when I first started going to meetings 10, 15 years ago, there were people in the rooms who were just people who abused drugs or alcohol. They were not drug addicts or alcoholics. They did not lose the power of choice. They they were able to dabble, you know what I mean? Or they were able to make that decision to stop. Have you ever heard somebody say, oh, well, I just was drinking and one day I realized I was going to get a DWI, so I just quit. I just stopped. And you're like, you just did what? Yeah, I got a DWI or I was about to get one or my husband caught me and I just threw it all away. That's all I had to do. I don't understand that. How do you do that? You know, hold on, let me read what y'all are saying. Joe says, I did the craziest shit in active addiction. No sane, level headed person would act like that. Oh, I know that's right. Me too, man. Hey, girl. Hey, Nicole. Been a while. Just saw you were live and wanted to say hi. Hope you've been well, girl. Well, you know I'm good, girl. I'm so glad to see you in here, little sister. Yay. I am so, well, it's about time you come back to us, girlfriend. I hope you're doing okay. Um, it amazes me too. It amazes me in the way that, like, listen, I don't want to be able to have that. You guys, I don't want to be able to use drugs and alcohol and not lose everything because if I did, I feel like I would really just be, I would use drugs and alcohol to be something that I all the it's almost like I just can't even compute it. It's like it doesn't make sense in my mind. The equation doesn't work, you know? I lost control. And that's what happens when somebody who truly has the disease of addiction takes drugs or alcohol into their body. Hey, gambling joker, what's up, man? You lose you lose yourself in the drugs. The drugs become you. Um, in fact, let me read y'all something that Dawn posted on Facebook. I think it was yesterday. But she's been doing something that I've taught her about. Let me share it with y'all because she's doing this and I've been reading her posts lately. So, okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Here we go. Where's that one? Okay, I used what I had learned as a child, separated myself from this trauma that I was inflicting upon myself. And then she also posted another one where, hold on, I gotta find it on my page. She had talked about being in line to lose her life. It was pretty awesome. Everywhere I went, people selling their souls for drugs. How did I not see that I was first in line? And I was like, damn, I was right behind you, girl. I was in the line too. How many of you guys, I feel like I was just actively giving my life over to the dope man. When we first start using drugs and alcohol, we don't realize that that is what's going to happen. Okay? No person who uses drugs goes to the dope man's house and says, you know what? I'm going to pay you so my whole life can go down the drain. I'm going to get drugs from you so that way I will never love myself again. That way I will never be able to work a job. I will never be able to take care of my children. I will never be able to be a son, a daughter, a parent, a brother, a sister, anything. No person goes into this and says, I can't wait to become a junkie. Yes. You know, and it's like, if I knew what I know now when I was 17 years old, I would have never picked up a drink or a drug. I would have walked away from it. I would have ran. I would have stayed at home and locked my door like it was the devil coming for me, like we were in the zombie apocalypse. If I knew what I know now, I would be hiding out, y'all, hiding out. I was also watching this channel on YouTube where this guy goes into the streets of Kensington, Philadelphia. No one wants to live like that. Out in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's the middle of the heroin, like street full of needles and heroin. People passed out on the side of the road everywhere. Like, do we really think that somebody wants to have that as a part of their life? You know? I lost control of my life. I lost control. I couldn't make good decisions because drugs and alcohol made my decisions for me. You know, and I can tell you guys, I can remember the exact time where I started to cross over into this point where my whole life was falling apart. Hey, Nicole, I'm new here. Which fellowships are you a part of? Hey, Verge, what's up, girl? Mara, Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous. Hey, Addicted Mind, what's up? Yep, I would have never took those pain pills if I knew what I know now. Me too, man. I used to run those streets, a little different in 2008, but some more of the same. Hey, Crazy Legs, what's up? Hey, I knew about addiction. I just always thought I had enough control not to let it get to me. I know. And you guys, isn't it so funny how we think that we can take it on? It's almost like we look at it as a challenge. You're like, you know what? I'm going to beat addiction. All these people that have went before me have gotten sucked in and become addicted, but I'm going to be different. I'm going to go toe to toe with addiction, and it's not going to take over my life. I'm not going to lose everything. Impossible. If you have the disease of addiction and you get high or drunk, the disease is going to take you down through there. Some people don't have the disease. Did you know that, you guys? Some people can use drugs and they might abuse them. Like I was saying before, they might come to the terms where they're like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Like it's messing up my life. I'm having bad side effects from this. I can't use anymore. That there's a difference between people who can do that and just stop and people like us who we couldn't stop. There is a quote in the book where it talks about we will not be able to bring into our mind, our memory, with sufficient enough force, the memory of a month, or a week ago. What that's saying is that drugs, they have us go into this euphoric recall where our minds only remember the good times. Okay? Our brains muscle memory goes back to how we felt when we were getting high and the good feelings it produced. Did you know that? Did you know that you have to train your brain to remember the bad times? I had to train my brain to remember the pain and agony I felt when my son was taken away from me. Because even though I was in rehab, I still wanted to get high and I was sneaking Xanax bars in there. You know, that's how strong this disease is. So I had to get out of there and start practicing, bringing that into the front of my mind. I lost my son. My son's in CPS. I don't have my son. He's in foster care. And I had to beat that into my brain, you guys. Do you understand that every single day I've had to practice remembering the horrible things that happened to me in my addiction? Because my mind automatically wants to go back to how much fun I had when I was doing hot rails and all the good times I had hooking up with hot guys and getting high, or how I was a big baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades on the Impala, caller, getting laid tonight. Do you know what I mean? I know y'all know what I mean. Hey, Jeff, good night. Love you, man. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Songs like that bring back these memories into my mind. And I'm just like, dude, if I could tell you guys songs that I hear literally take me back to my active addiction. Okay. That song right there, I was chiefing clouds, dude, every single day, all day. And I have to train my brain. I have to practice every single day thinking differently. It's a whole new way of life. And I would be lying to you if I said, oh, it's been so easy for me to retrain my brain. This is what's held me back all my life. All my life, I have gotten sober and tried to stay hanging around with the same people and not made any changes in the way I think. It wasn't until this time getting sober that I actually started making changes in my thoughts, you guys, and changing how I talk, who I talk to, the company that I keep around me, what I do for fun. Do you know what I do for fun now? Do you know what my idea of fun is now? My idea of fun is going live on YouTube with my recovery family. My idea of fun is taking a vacation with my husband and my son and spending quality time with both of them at the same time. You know what my idea of fun used to be in active addiction? Seeing how much dope I could shoot up, seeing how much higher I could get than everybody else, because I was a rabid dog when it came to shooting dope. I was all about stealing the dope and helping you look for it. I was ruthless in my addiction. I couldn't get enough dope in my veins. And I would go to any lengths I could, you guys, to get more and more and more and more and more. I watched this lady on TikTok. She makes videos about addiction. And she was saying something the other day that there's 3 types of addicts. And she was saying there's the addict that uses because of trauma. There's addicts that use because they're just bored. And then there's addicts like us who use because there's more and there's drugs everywhere. And it's like, that's so true. When I think about and I told you guys this story the other day, when I look back on my life and I realized how great of a life I had growing up as a kid, I didn't have any trauma that I can really remember that was devastating, right? I just used because there was more and it felt good. There are some songs I love but can't listen to. Yes, girl, yes. We would all do things differently if we could relive our past. That is why self-forgiveness is a huge part of long-term recovery. So another thing that we were talking about was um, guilt parenting. So I know a lot of you guys are parents in recovery like me. And so when I first got sober, I wanted to buy my son everything. And I did. I bought my son all kinds of things. And you know what happened, you guys? Just so y'all know, the link that I'm putting in the comments is a link to our Facebook group, a link to our Hangouts chat, a link to the YouTube channel, a link to the Instagram, a link to my TikTok. It's got every link in it that you could ever imagine is in that link tree thing. Joe bought a Tesla with all the money he stole from all. What are you talking about, Mario? Mario, what are you talking about? Oh, gosh. Hold on, you guys. Mario, I've tried to let you play, honey, but you just can't stop, so you're out of here. Love ya. Have a great life. I just blocked Mario. He comes in here every chance he gets and calls Joe a scammer. I don't care about Joe being a scammer, Mario. When are you going to get that? When are you going to get that through to your thick skull? I grew up with my dad in a biker club, so partying is what was always around. So I was taught it was cool to party. Yeah, Carrie. We must retrain the way we think and talk to ourselves also. You have come so far, Nicole. You guys, and listen, Shelly, that's also something that I'm working really hard on, and I want to know how you guys feel about it, okay? So y'all know I've been trying to refer to myself as a person in recovery. I'm trying to get away from saying, hey, my name's Nicole and I'm an addict. And a lot of people don't agree with that, or they think that I should call myself an addict, okay? Let me tell you something, okay? I used to feel the same way, and I'm going to tell you why I felt the same way. Now, hear me out. The only way I was ever taught to get sober was through AA, okay? So when I started walking away from AA and joined another fellowship, which, like I said, I love the 12 steps. This is nothing against the 12 steps, but I'm not a part of that fellowship anymore. I don't go to those kind of meetings anymore, and that's just what it is. When I joined another fellowship, I started opening my mind to new ways of recovery. Okay. Teaching somebody that the only way they're in recovery is if they're abstinent is an AA way of thinking, a 12-step way of thinking, right? I believe that you're in recovery when you say you're in recovery. I believe that you're in recovery when you're utilizing MAT. I believe that you're in recovery if you have to take medication for pain or for depression. I believe that you're in recovery when you take that step and say, hey, I'm starting my recovery journey. You know, that's what I believe. I have opened my heart and my mind to different pathways of recovery, and I'm not closed minded and stuck in that one way thinking anymore. Right. And so, as part of this journey of opening my mind and starting just block them, Sam, and starting, hey Nate, what's up, man? Starting a new way of life and a new recovery. I am opening my mind to say, you know what, my name's Nicole and I'm a person in recovery. I am not the label of addict. I am so much more than the disease of addiction. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm an aunt, I'm a best friend, I'm a strong woman, okay? I am more than that. I'm not just an addict, okay? Will I always have the disease of addiction in me? Yes. Is me saying that I am a person in recovery and negating and pushing away the title addict mean that I am going to go out and relapse tomorrow? Hell no. Hell no. That's some bullshit. I do not want to be known as Nicole the addict. I want to be known as Nicole, the person who has made her life better. I want to be known as Nicole, the person who's making a difference and helping people change their lives. You know what I mean? I want to be known as Nate's mom, not Nate's addict recovering mom. You know what I'm saying? And so while I do see that people, they think once an addict, always an addict, right? Thank you, Merk. Y'all, Merk just linked Nate Dogg's channel if y'all want to go subscribe to his channel. And just so y'all know, anybody that comes in here that has a channel that is doing something positive with their channel and not about that bullshit, we will link your channel in our comments. So Nate's not about that bullshit, so we link his channel. Okay, so Verge, you brought up a good question. So Verge says, does that mean someone could still be using but be in recovery? I'm not sure I understand. Okay, so what I mean by that is I believe a person is in recovery when they start taking those first steps into recovery. I believe that when you say, hey, I need help, I'm going into treatment, that you're in recovery, that you're starting your mission, you're starting those steps, right? And you're walking in that direction. Now, I really don't look at what people are putting into their bodies, because if it doesn't apply to me, it's none of my business. So therefore, I have no business going around telling anybody whether or not they're in recovery or not. And a lot of times what happens with people online is they get sober and they get a little time underneath their belt, and then they want to tell other people how they're sober or not sober. And see, here on this channel, we support all pathways to recovery. We support medically assisted treatment. We support people that utilize medical marijuana. We support people that have to take medication because they have chronic pain or depression or anxiety or psychiatric medications. We support people that are utilizing kratom in their recovery. You know why? You guys? Because it's not for us to judge or say. When you take the ego out of your recovery and you're just being here to support and love other people, then there's no reason why we should even have to say whether or not somebody's in recovery or not, because it's not me. I'm in recovery. I started my recovery 5.5 years ago, maybe July, August, 5 years and 2 months ago. And I have been in recovery ever since. But I really think that what happens is people want to get to this point where they're untouchable in their sobriety, and they look down on other people who have to utilize something like that are choosing to utilize maintenance medication, or that are choosing to get a prescription by their doctor for medical marijuana because they have debilitating anxiety and they don't want to take a benzo, so they got on the medical marijuana card. But if you walk into a 12-step fellowship and you tell them, I have a prescription for medical marijuana, you know what they're going to tell you? That you're not sober. And that's what I'm saying. Like, why do they even say that? It's not any of their business, and so we share what we're doing over here because we want to help smash the stigma so other people don't feel so alone. You know what I mean? Recovery, returning to a normal state of health, mind, or strength. And so I'll give you guys another example that's more like focused, right? I'll give you something that's personal to me that I have experienced, okay? So Doug says, just want to say I subbed to you about a month ago and you rock, Nicole. I'm still an addict. I'm coming off booze right now. It's so bad. Send prayers my way. Hey, Doug, man, we're here for you. I love you, man. You can text me on that number anytime and I'll talk to you, okay? Let me tell y'all something that's personal experience for me, okay? Personal experience, okay? I have been on Suboxone since July of 2015. I got on Suboxone after being 30 days sober, all right? I got on Suboxone because I was going to relapse. My past had showed me that I relapsed. My son was in child protective custody, and I was not going to be able to stay sober. And if I relapsed, I was going to lose custody of my son. So I got on maintenance. At first, I was really ashamed to be on it because the only way I had been taught is that if you are not in a 12-step fellowship and you're not doing it the way they teach, then you're not sober or in recovery. And so when you're taught that way, that's the only way that has been taught for so many years in treatment centers all across the US, okay? That has been taught in everywhere. And so what we are doing here on this channel is we are challenging that old way of thinking. And we are bringing in new people who are, look at me, I've been sober for 5 years and I'm on 1.5 milligrams of Suboxone. And I wish a motherfucker would tell me I'm not in recovery. I wish a motherfucker would tell me I'm not sober. Tell that to my boss. Tell that to the people that I help every single day. Tell that to my mom and dad who now have their daughter back. Tell that to my son who is in my custody and has been for over 4 years. Tell that to my sisters who have their big sister back. Tell that to somebody who has seen me literally flourish and grow and change into the woman that I am today, and I am on Suboxone. For a while, I thought I need to get off Suboxone so that way I can prove to everybody that I'm really in recovery, right? I have to prove it to them. I have to show everybody because they say that I'm not sober. You know what I mean? They say that I'm not really in recovery. And so I prayed about it, you guys. I prayed about it, and I've been praying about it. Hey, Merck, will you put the Mara link for Verge? And Verge, we are so glad to have you, girl. I'm kind of on a tangent right now because this is something I'm really passionate about. When you are told for so long that you're not sober because you're utilizing a medication that's prescribed to you and you take that medication as it's prescribed by your doctor, it's probably one of the worst feelings you'll ever feel in your whole entire life. When it comes from a whole peer group of people that are the same as you, when other drug addicts and alcoholics are telling me that I'm still in treatment because I'm still on medically assisted recovery. I'm still on medication. And I'll probably be on that medication for the rest of my life. Does that mean that I'm not in recovery? Does that mean that I'm not sober? Does that mean that I haven't changed my life and I'm not a new person? I worked way too hard regardless of how I got to this point I got here. So what if I took an extra step? So Addicted Mind, let me share this with you. And I've used this analogy several times. You have two people who both have 5 years sober, okay? You have one person over here who has utilized a 12-step program, therapy, maybe they work out and they pray. So they got 4 things over here. And then you got somebody like me who has used the 12 steps, therapy, praying, meditating, and MAT. Okay. So they're both 5 years sober. This person just has an extra tool in her toolbox that she's using to ensure that she stays on the right track. Does that mean that that person can't help people or can't make a difference? No. In fact, the way the world is going and the way this opiate epidemic has just blown up and more people are getting on MAT, there should be a whole crew of people like me who are on MAT to mentor new people who are coming onto it that need support. There should be a whole program of peers like us who can help other peers who are new to it and need help. Because I know when I first started, there was nobody I could talk to and say, hey, I'm struggling with constipation and I kind of want to overtake my medication. Did you feel like that? What should I do? You know, now today, I'm able to help other people with that and tell them that they're not alone and that I went through the same thing. And here's what I did. And here's how I got past that. You know, I want, hey, Nick, I miss you. Where you been, fool? You know where I've been, right here. And here's another thing, you guys, like it can be so discouraging. And I want to share with you guys because I have experienced it firsthand right here in Arkansas, how discouraging and how people, they only want to help people that are on MAT when it looks good to them.
Some Oreos in a bowl.
What kind? The black ones or the yellow ones?
Black ones, because the yellow ones.
Hey Joe, what's up, baby?
The yellow ones are like honey, and I don't like honey on Oreos.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the. Hold on, guys. I gotta get Nate some Oreos.
There's new skins in the item shop. Still my skin. There's a whole item shop changes in like one day or like the second or the third day.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna get a new skin.
Did you pick up the upstairs, Nate? Put whatever's on the floor in the trash? There you go.
That's on the floor. He spells floor F.
I love you.
Love you too, little butthole.
Love you too, little buttski.
Your butt crack.
Love you too, butt crack. So let me see what we got going on here. Exactly. So let me tell you guys what we've been doing, what Dr. B's doing over at his clinic. Oh my God, Nick, that's awesome. Are you going to videotape it so we can see it? What's up, Polly? So, okay, let me keep going because we're getting into a good conversation. Okay, so I work for Dr. B, right? And so, or I work with Dr. B. At his clinic, you guys, what we're starting to do is we're starting to start something like a peer-on-peer support. So maybe somebody that has came through that has gotten on medication-assisted treatment, maybe they're really having a hard time or they're struggling. So what we have just started is he has started assigning me people to reach out to and offer them support and check on them to see how they're doing. And so that way, their first induction onto the medication, they won't be alone. They'll have somebody that knows how it is and what they've been through, because I've been through it. You know what I mean? And so it's just, I'm telling you guys this right now, okay? The best thing I ever did was stop worrying about what other people said about my recovery. But sometimes, you know what? It's hard because it's right in your face. For someone who, like me, who wants to keep growing in my recovery and keep helping other people who are like me, who need support. And so I tried to do that here in Arkansas where I live, and I have been shut down because I am still on MAT. That's discouraging. And so I'm so grateful to be a part of a community and to be a part working with Dr. B, and we are progressive. We are ahead of the curve, okay? We are doing things that people should have been doing a long time ago, And so I got discouraged at first, but I was like, Nicole, you don't need to do that here because you're already doing it, working at your job, right? But the thing about it is, I want other people here where I live to have the opportunity, you guys, to do these kind of things. And if they can't get approved to do the peer-to-peer support, then because they're on MAT, that's messed up, and that's where I'm telling you guys, like here where I live, they want to say that they support multiple pathways, but when it comes down to it, and it means letting people that utilize MAT be a part of these programs and be a part of helping others, then they want to tell you that your recovery hasn't began yet and that you're still in treatment. Well, honey, baby, I've been in treatment for a long ass time then, and I don't plan on getting out of treatment. So I just don't want, I'm so glad that we have this platform. And you guys, listen, it has taken me since 2017 to actually build this channel up and to get the word out there. And we are coming full steam ahead. full steam ahead, baby. Okay. We're not taking no for an answer. We're making changes in this damn community, whether people like it or not. Nick says, don't ever get discouraged. You are seriously helping out so many people, and it's ridiculous that people won't support Matt. I used to think abstinence was the only way, but damn, I was so wrong. And you know what, Nick? And here's the thing. Y'all know me and Nick are very, very close, very good friends. When you get to see somebody who is your friend like me, whose life has literally changed, then it makes you realize that, like, you know what? There is more than one way, you know, and I used to be the same way. I want y'all to understand something. I was the same way, okay? And it was because that was the only way that I was taught, okay? I was only taught one way to recover. I was only taught one program. You know, when you grow up in Arkansas, Hot Springs, Arkansas, back whenever I was trying to get sober over 15 years ago, right? The first time I tried to get sober, I think was in 2002. There wasn't people going around talking about methadone or Suboxone, and they certainly weren't offering it to you. They were telling you that you had to go through treatment, you had to do a sponsorship, had to do meetings, and what about the millions of people that those programs don't work for? What about the millions of people that don't go to meetings, don't have a sponsor, and don't work the 12 steps, and they're staying sober without it? You know, what about those people that it doesn't work for? You know, and that is why we are sharing about Mara here on my channel. That's why we talk about MAT here on my channel, because there is more than one way to recover. And I am recovering. Okay. Y'all, when I tell you, let me just tell you about my life, okay? Let me tell you about my life when I was in active addiction. When I was in active addiction, you guys, I used drugs instead of take care of my son. When I was in active addiction, I shot methamphetamine every day of my pregnancy. When I was in my active addiction, I stole money from my mom and dad and took credit cards out of my dad's wallet and bought everybody in the bar alcohol. When I was in my active addiction, I would sleep with men that I didn't know. When I was in my active addiction, I would trade sexual favors for drugs. When I was in my active addiction, I couch hopped because I didn't have a solid place to live. When I was in active addiction, I lied and I cheated and I stole. Those things that I did in my active addiction, I never, ever, I don't do that shit no more. So if I'm still in treatment and I'm not in recovery, damn. You're welcome, Crazy Legs. We love you. My life has went from unmanageable, horrible, feeling like I wanted to die every single day, wanting to kill myself, to happy, joyous, and free. I wake up every morning alive and happy to be alive. I wake up and I'm grateful. I wake up and I look forward to doing my groups with you guys. I look forward to making content on my different social medias that are going to help other people. I look forward to being a mother to my son. When I was getting high, I didn't look forward to shit except for the dope. We have got to do better. We have got to do better. People have got to do better because we are doing what we're supposed to be doing for our lives. And that is why I go to Mara. That is why I support all recovery, no matter what pathway you take. That is why I choose not to worry about how somebody else gets sober and whether or not they're saying they're sober or not and what I think they should say they are. because I take me out of this. I take ego out of this. And if my true goal is to help all people, is to support all struggling people that are struggling with substance use disorder, then that's where I'm going to be, you know? So, yeah, I've made so many bad life decisions. I hate myself for it. Really depressed and worry about my future. Doug, you listen to me. You can make a change now. You don't have to keep living your life like that. Okay? You don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. All right? I want you to know I've been there. I know it sucks, but all you got to do is reach out, man. Put the bottle down, reach out for help. If you're drinking and you're having problems with alcoholism, get into detox. Go to detox, get that shit out of your system, come back home and start hitting these meetings with us every night. You guys, we do this every single night. And then we also do Zoom meetings with Mara damn near 3 times a day. I am telling you guys this right now. If you are struggling in your sobriety and you need support, there is support available. There are meetings all day, every day. We have the links to the meetings. Merck links those meetings every day in our Hangouts chat, you guys. If you don't want to join our Hangouts chat and you want to check for the meetings, all you have to do is go to marainternational.org and they have a list of online Zoom meetings. But if you're like me and you need a reminder because you forget everything, then Merck links them every single day in our Hangouts chat before they happen. So if you're struggling and you need to get off dope or alcohol, get your ass in detox. When you come out, let's get started on your recovery. Okay? You can do this. Things have changed. Times have changed, honey. You don't have to go into residential treatment for 30 days. You don't have to go be shipped off anywhere. You can literally go get that shit out of your system, come back to the house, and get started on your recovery. And if you need to, you guys, there's medications out there for people that struggle with alcoholism that if you take that medication, it will knock that shit right out of your system and you will not want to drink ever again. Okay, so there's medications for that. There's medications for opiate addiction. Yeah. So, and then also, if you're struggling with like mental health, you guys go to therapy. Get in to see a therapist. If you need to get on medication, get on medication, right? But you don't have to go to Passages Malibu, okay, to get your addiction cured. Okay, you can get help and you can be here with us and you can get sober because you know what? I've seen so many people do it. There's like 5 of them in the comment section right now who started with us a year ago and now they're sober. Bye, Sam. Love you. So I'm sorry I got on a little tangent this evening, you guys, but I just want you guys to know how important it is for us as other people in recovery, right? To support one another, no matter what. Okay? You don't have to like somebody. Y'all don't always have to get along, right? All you got to do is support each other. And it's not hard to do that. It's a lot harder to be negative and comment and be ugly than it is to be kind, and that's one thing that I've learned. Recovery is possible. You can do this. You just need support. You need support and go get yourself some books. You guys, I love reading books about recovery. Let me show you all the books I got. Okay? But I'm going to tell y'all, the way I've gotten sober and stayed sober is by changing the way I think. That's what it is. Changing the way I think. And that is how I have been able to stay sober. What I used to find fun back in the day, I don't find it fun anymore. I don't think it's cool to go out and get high and pass out. I don't think it's fun to go party at the club. Today, I value my life and my recovery and my husband and my son and you guys. And when you change your thinking, that's whenever your life is going to change. All right. All right. So I got this book called The Addiction Recovery Workbook, which is all about relapse prevention, which we need to do on Monday. Okay. I mean, this is literally a workbook that you guys can do work in, okay? And these are books that you can order off Amazon and you can work these books, okay? And you could be, here's the thing, you guys. Nothing is going to just come to you, okay? You're not going to get sober by osmosis, by sitting here waiting for it to rub off on you. It's going to take some work. You're going to have to dig deep inside of yourself, let go, and that's how you do it. If you have somebody that you trust that you can talk to that's also in recovery, that helps a whole bunch because they can help guide you through the journey. I suggest having somebody that you trust that you can talk to as a guide. It helped me a lot too. And then we have Freedom from Our Addictions by Russell Brand. Recovery, Freedom from Our Addictions. Like that. I have the big book. I love that. I have the 12 and 12. I love that. And I have my Courage to Change book, which is an Al-Anon meditation book, because I'm also married to somebody that is in recovery, So having somebody that you can talk to makes a lot of difference. Joe, I know since Neil has started talking to you, it has helped him so much, you guys, and it has made all the world of a difference. Things that my husband wasn't willing to do before, he's doing now, like going to a Mara meeting last night. I couldn't believe it when he went to that meeting yesterday. I was about to pass out. It freaking blew my mind. He went to it and he was happy to be there. And that is because of Joe guiding him and being there to support him. I've been trying to do that with my husband for years now. And it took another man that he can relate to get through to him and help him, and I knew in my heart that that's what it was going to take, right? Sorry, I'm getting all worked up over here. I knew that's what it was going to take, you guys, but I'm just so glad that he finally opened his mind and his heart to talking with somebody else that is in recovery. You know what I mean? All right, so let me read to you guys. We're going to do a meditation, and we are he went to a Mara meeting, Nikki. I am too, Brian. I am too. So for those of you guys that have no idea what we're talking about, my husband had a relapse like a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. And I have been so worried about him, you guys. Hey, Leslie, we're live. You're late. I saw your comment, Verge. Since Verge said she likes the Just for Today, we'll read the Just for Today. Just for Today NA reading. Okay, here we go. Are y'all ready? Listen up. September 25th, 2020. The fourth step, fearing our feelings. We may fear that being in touch with our feelings will trigger an overwhelming chain reaction of pain and panic. Here we go. A common complaint about the fourth step is that it makes us painfully conscious of our defects of character. We may be tempted to falter in our program of recovery. Through surrender and acceptance, we can find the resources we need to keep working the steps. It's not the awareness of our defects that causes the most agony, it's the defects themselves. When we were using, all we felt was the drugs. We could ignore the suffering our defects were causing us. Now that the drugs are gone, we feel that pain. Refusing to acknowledge the source of our anguish doesn't make it go away. Denial protects the pain and makes it stronger. The 12 steps help us deal with the misery caused by our defects by dealing directly with the defects themselves. If we hurt from the pain of our defects, we can remind ourselves of the nightmare of addiction, a nightmare from which we've now awakened. We can recall the hope for relief the second step gave us. We can again turn our will and our lives over through the third step to the care of the God of our understanding. Our higher power cares for us by giving us help we need to work the rest of the 12 steps. We don't have to fear our feelings. Just for today, we continue in our recovery. Just for today, I won't be afraid of my feelings. With the help of my higher power, I'll continue in my recovery. So, you know what? I hate it when I hear people talking about the. So, just so you guys know, in Mara, we have 12 steps also. And our fourth step is about making our list also. And it's just a little bit different than the fourth step of AA and NA, but it's a lot like it too. But so when a lot of people talk about working their fourth step and being scared to do it, and they make it this huge thing like they're not going to be able to accomplish, right? It's not like that. It shouldn't be like that at all. It's a cleansing moment. It's time to put everything out there so that way you can get it off of you and someone else can help you carry the burden. You know, when I did my fourth step, and I've done 3 of them now, I couldn't wait to tell my sponsor all the shit that I had going up inside of my head. You know why? Because I was carrying it all by myself. And through that, I was able to have somebody else lessen that load and help carry it with me. And then we were able to go through it, pray about it, and get that shit out of me. I have forgiven people that I had never forgave. I have let go of trauma and pain that I carried with me for 10, 15 years of my life. Okay. I am free from that stuff, you know? And the defects of character that I do struggle with, I know what they are, and I know how to be better and not let them flare up like they usually do. You know, I'm somebody who struggles with, I'm insecure. We all know that. And especially whenever I was first getting sober, I really, really wanted to be validated from other people. And that's why, like I was telling you guys earlier, I almost got off of my maintenance medication because I felt like if I did, then people would accept me. Then maybe they would believe my recovery was real if I would get off Suboxone, right? And do you know that if I had done that and I had relapsed and died, my son wouldn't have his mom? You know how crazy that sounds whenever you really think about it? When what other people are thinking and saying about your recovery can affect you like that. That's what I'm telling you guys. Like, you'll never catch me saying something about anybody else's recovery. The only person's recovery I'm worried about is mine. I will never comment on somebody's stuff and talk about them in a bad way. I will never question somebody's sobriety or recovery. I will never make videos to hurt anybody in that way. That's bullshit. Hey, Cujo. That is why, you guys, like, I am just so focused on me and mine, you know, and just being of service and trying to help other people. That is why, you know, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all of you guys that have believed in me and supported me, because there was a time where I was so afraid to be where I'm at, and that I wasn't going to fit in, and that I wasn't going to be a part of, that I was miserable. But now I realize that everything I went through, all the pain, all the being afraid of what other people thought, the judgment, people making fun of me, was all for something. It was all for this. It was all for this moment with you guys, creating this channel, creating this movement, being a part of Dr. B's movement, being a part of the Mara movement. It was all for this greater good, you know? So I'm glad to be a part of the Mara community. I'm glad to be on MAT, and I will forever speak out for people like us who are utilizing it. And I hope that you guys get to a point where you don't worry about having validation from other people and what they think about you. Okay? Because it shouldn't matter to anyone what you're doing for your sobriety. Okay? And yes, you're in recovery. You know, you're in recovery when you say you're in recovery, like we say in Mara. And we believe that being in recovery is taking steps in the right direction to living a safe lifestyle, and non-judgment is our code. So I love you guys so much. I hope that I didn't go on too many tangents tonight and y'all could follow me, but I haven't sat down and got like excited about talking with you guys. And remember, we used to do these all the time where I would just get up here and we would pick a topic and we would go at it, and I just want to get back into it where I'm sharing from my heart. Because here's the thing, you guys, I always am sharing from my heart, but I don't want to get burnt out. You know what I mean? And so now I've figured out, hey, Jeff, now I have figured out a way to balance me not getting burned out by having guests on in between, and then I can come on and do these in the later part of the week. It really does help me. On Monday, we're going to have a special guest. Let me get her Instagram. We have a new girl. She's going to be coming on. She's not new to the recovery community, but me and her are friends on Instagram. And her name is Cree on Instagram. Queen Cree. She's super pretty, you guys. Real pretty lady. I guess that shouldn't matter, but here she is. She is going to come on Monday and tell her story. And I really hope you guys will come and hang out with us and listen to her story because she's super dope. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. I really enjoyed sitting up here and talking with you guys. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about before I leave? Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? Questions, comments, or concerns? Tomorrow is Saturday. Tomorrow night, Jodeci is going to come on. I know a lot of you guys remember Jodeci from a couple weeks ago. She's my girlfriend. She's my new girlfriend. She's on TikTok. She's almost at 40,000 followers on TikTok. She's blowing it out of the water over there. But she is on MAT and she's very passionate about speaking out like I am. And if you haven't followed her already over there, her @ is Matt Lives Matter. Or 13, I changed my life now. Hey, Craven, that's awesome. I'm not going to say your whole name because it's a setup. It's a setup, Craven. I'm happy for you, man. And that's awesome. That's what it's all about. And so, don't let anybody ever just discourage you guys. Okay. You're doing what you got to do. That's right for you and your recovery. Okay. And every person's different. There's no two people out there that are the same. So there's no two things that are going to work for each person the same, So I really, really love doing these videos with you guys. So y'all already know this was so much fun for me. I just feel like I really got to share tonight and say some things that I've been wanting to say for a while. And I hope it helps somebody out there. And I will see you guys tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And me and Jodeci will be up here. All right. All right. Love you guys. Good night. Yes, Doug, you may text me.